It's like having the lesser of a serious rash. Yeah.
This one looks better. Yeah, from one car that leaks a lot of oil and breaks down a lot to one that doesn't. Give us your haunches.
The haunches on this thing is so hot. Is there any better recipe than taking the smallest car you can and sticking a stonking great six-cylinder engine in the front?
That's the perfect recipe for a fun and collectible car, I'd say.
Now, you've seen all the 90s and early 2000s JDM performance cars going through the roof in price, let alone muscle cars and classic Ferraris and Porsches now asking stupid money.
Yeah, look, we're not interested in that upper echelon of silly car prices. We're just talking about the cars that most of us can justify buying and maybe even afford.
Exactly. You don't have to be a millionaire to buy any of these cars. We're talking cars that start off at about $3,000 and top out at well under $100,000.
And we should say, look, we can't predict the future here. This is just basically our opinion.
Think of these cars as the ones that we would put in our garage right now, given the time and space and the spare finances. These are the cars that we would put in the collection. Also, obviously, go and seek professional and financial advice before committing to any of these cars. But we'd like to think that these are the cars that tick all of the future classics boxes.
Now, let's kick it off, shall we? We're going to start off with the Golf R32.
Yes.
Now, specifically, the Mark IV.
Yeah, obviously there is the Mark V as well. We're going with the Mark IV because it is just a rarer car. And many people consider this to be the peak for Volkswagen in terms of reliability, build quality, stuff like that.
Yeah.
How are they reliable?
They're pretty good. They're pretty good. That engine, that V6, not real V6 engine, it is actually very robust.
Yep.
They don't really have many problems at all.
Good to hear. Now, we are talking 2003 to 2004. At the moment, used prices range from about $20,000 to $50,000. They're already starting to creep up.
Yeah.
This is a special car.
Are the three-door ones worth more?
Well, yeah, so in Australia, I think we only got the three-door in Australia. The five-door internationally, yeah, I think the three-door is worth more. I think it's, again, a bit more of a unique body shell.
They look better.
They do look better.
Do.
Now, fun fact for you, this was actually one of the world's first production cars that came with a dual-clutch transmission. Should you get one?
No. Look, the manual obviously is better. That's the one to get. But these early DSGs, they had a bunch of problems with their mechatronics units, the clutch packs, the accumulators. They had heaps of issues. Once they're fixed, they're typically okay, but they can be problematic.
Yeah. But honestly, this thing ticks all the future classics boxes. The Mark V to a lesser extent, but I think it's a Mark IV. Actually, if anybody out there has a Mark IV R32 and you live in Sydney or Newcastle and you'd be happy for us to film it, can you please email me via the link below because we would love to feature one.
Yeah, and that engine, that V6, it is one of the best sounding domestic engines, seriously. Affordable domestic engines. And
Absolutely.
It's just like a small hatch. How does it sound so good?
Like, audibly, it has almost a supercar soundtrack.
It sounds so good.
And yet it's a practical three-door hatch.
Yeah.
It's a future classic, surely.
Definitely.
Okay, this next one, I reckon this is going to surprise a few people.
Yeah, I agree. It's not your typical collectible car.
No. But bear with us. First generation Toyota RAV4, specifically in three-door trim. Nothing wrong with the five-door, but I think in terms of collectability, it's got to be a three-door.
Definitely. It's one of those cars, I'll be honest, when they first came out, and I'm old enough to remember that, I thought they were pretty ugly. But now I just think they are. They look so good.
So cool.
Yeah.
Pricing at the moment, like these things kick off from about $3,000, but we're starting to see some swap hands for $20,000. Granted, we're talking no modifications, mint condition, preferably low Ks. In saying that, low Ks on this is what, less than 200,000 kilometres?
Exactly. They've all got a lot of Ks.
The reason we think it's a future classic, it's arguably, no, not even arguably, it's the first proper crossover SUV. It was the car that started it for probably the majority of the cars on the road right now.
Yeah.
This is Genesis for small SUVs or just family-friendly SUVs at all.
Also happened to be a fairly capable off-road vehicle as well.
Yeah. And we are talking classic Toyota here. There's not a lot going on mechanically, so super reliable with some kind of maintenance history. You'd like to think it's pretty good. Pretty resilient?
Pretty good. But, old age does win. They are having some issues, but, what car isn't at that age, basically? Yeah. Pretty good.
Ideally, the real crackers to get here are any that are fitted with either period correct accessories and preferably the Toyota genuine accessories, like some of the lights, some of the sticker packs, some of the 16-inch alloys that came on them. If you can find one with any of that kit on it, I'd be snapping that up bloody quick.
Even the ones that have had a few nice tasteful mods, they are very cool as well.
Definite future classic.
And another car along the same lines, it's the Mitsubishi Pajero.
Or the Montero or the Shogun, depending on where you're watching this from.
Yeah.
Now, we are talking 3-door body shells again. The
Yeah.
3 doors across the range are worth more than the 5-door. Nothing wrong with a 5-door Pajero, Montero,
But the
Shogun.
3 doors just look better.
We're talking Pajero, we're talking Pajero Mini, the EO or the IO, the Junior.
And the big dog, it's the Pajero Evolution.
Yeah, these things are already a classic.
Yeah.
They don't need to be a future classic.
No.
But you're looking at what, $65,000, $75,000. But the good news is, any of those other ones, they kick off from around about $10,000 for a pretty good one. Now, to be a future classic, you're going to want to stick with your locally delivered models. So if you're here in Australia, Aussie delivered ones.
Yeah.
There are some imports coming in, but it's the Aussie delivered ones that generally gain value
In
more.
any given region, they are always the more valuable ones.
Yeah, I think looks-wise, the 3-door Pajero looks better than a 3-door Prado in every spec. Also, it's a future classic that you can actually use. They're quite enjoyable to drive every day, and you can take them off-road. It doesn't have to be a garage queen to become collectible.
Yeah, and pretty reliable too.
Yeah.
I mean, these are still of a time where cars were very simple.
Yep.
They're easy to work on. Parts are still available.
Yep.
They're pretty good.
Also, dedicated fan base.
Yeah.
I think when you start looking at the owners groups and forums and Reddit subreddits, and you see just how passionate the fan base is, and it's growing all the time, I feel like this is why a 3-door Pajero in any guise is going to be a future classic. And also, look at the pricing at the moment. I remember a time when a 3-door Pajero, not the smaller ones, you could pick them up for, $8,000, $10,000.
Yeah.
The cheapest ones now, good ones, are $15,000.
Yeah.
They're starting to go up.
You don't see many around.
No, and again, the 3-door is always worth more than the 5-door in terms of equivalent models.
Yeah.
Yep.
And speaking of four-wheel drives, another one is the 7th gen Toyota HiLux.
Yeah, we're talking 2004 to 2015, especially, and some of our international viewers might not even know this one exists, the TRD supercharged examples.
Yeah.
Bit of a spoiler alert. I think I've got one of these locked in for a video coming up soon.
Very cool car.
Very,
How
very
did
cool.
they get that through?
I don't know.
Marketing department. Unbelievable. Another good one, though, is the SR5 V6 as well. That's pretty good as well.
100%.
I think the V6 is probably better overall as a collectible car than the diesel. Like the diesel SR5 is okay too.
Yep.
But I think that V6 is probably better as a long-term thing.
I think long term, in terms of collectability, at the moment the diesels, it has to be SR5.
Yeah.
The diesels are currently worth more than the petrol. So diesels at the moment, they range from sort of, $8,500 up to $45,000. The petrols are like $6,000 to top out at $30,000.
Well, the diesels are still desirable because they work as a modern Hilux, and they're the last Hilux that had without a DPF, so that people like them for that. But in terms of a collectible car, I think the V6 is. Don't worry about the fuel prices. Don't worry about towing. It's a collectible, and the V6 is a nicer car to drive.
And to be collectible, has to be standard. Or if it has mods, they have to be incredibly tasteful and very high quality, but preferably no mods, preferably low kilometres, and obviously in mint condition. I remember I saw one of these SR5s not that long ago at a petrol station, and it looked like it had driven off the showroom floor. And I remember then thinking, even now, that thing is special.
Yeah.
Give it 10 or 15 years, this thing's going to be something else. Also, one of the other reasons it's going to be a future classic, it's the last Hilux made in Japan.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with the Thai-built ones. The
but
current Hilux
it's
are
a
fine.
nice feature, isn't it? It's just the last Japanese Hilux.
Also, do you reckon they're still sort of modern enough to actually live with?
100%.
Yeah.
You update the infotainment system.
Yeah, exactly.
They're actually, on paper, they're pretty much as good as any modern day four-wheel drive.
I so hope we can lock in this TRD supercharged version.
Such a cool thing.
So cool. Oh, also, before any of you go recoiling back, going, hang on a sec, you just said don't modify it, and then we just tell you to put an aftermarket infotainment system in it. There are systems out there that can hide under your seat or somewhere in the car, so you can keep the standard fascia, but then still have Bluetooth connectivity through the speakers. And it's completely
very discreet.
invisible. Check out our mates at Automotive Superstore for this, for any car infotainment needs, actually for any tyres, suspension parts, bar work, lighting, anything you need. These guys are legends. They're mates of ours. They've got over 400,000 parts. The link's down below. Check them out. Now, look, enough of full drives and SUVs for a moment, although they aren't the last full drives and SUVs we're mentioning in this list. Let's talk some more spicy stuff. Let's go performance cars. Let's go BMW, and let's go the E87 130i. This is the 2005 to 2007. Jim, is there any better recipe than taking the smallest car you can in rear-wheel drive, guys, and sticking a stonking great 6-cylinder
I think
engine in the front.
that's the perfect recipe for a fun and collectible car, I'd say.
Let's also N52.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're fine.
no?
They're fine. Yeah. They're fine. Look, in standard form, well serviced, they will go forever. There's a few little things you need to do them. Check out our other videos where we've talked about those.
Yep.
They're a good engine. Yeah, they'll go forever.
I think this is a really special car. There is a manual and an automatic gearbox in these. I think to be collectible, I think it does have to be the manual. And as we've said before, has to be stock, has to be relatively low Ks, and has to be in great condition.
Yeah.
But this is such a unique car. Okay, you had the M140i, which is also, that's going to be a classic, but they're bloody expensive. These things currently kick off from $8,000. They top out at about 15 to 18 grand. That's a cracking car for the money.
If you like the looks, a lot of people don't. Well, I don't mind them.
They've grown on me.
Yeah.
There was a period there where I thought it was a dog ugly car, but now I see them and I'm like, no, I think that's
grown on you.
No, it's definitely grown on me.
Yeah.
It's a Bengal design car. I'm sure it's Bengal design, this era of BMW. And if it is, again, I think everything in this era of BMW, maybe because new BMWs look so shit. So
maybe
now
that's why these ones look good.
You look at the old ones going,
point.
It's actually a pretty good looking thing.
By comparison.
It's like having the lesser of a serious rash.
This one looks better.
Yeah.
Fair call.
Also, okay, it's not turbocharged, naturally aspirated, but it's 0 to 100 in about 6 seconds. That's plenty fast enough.
It's good.
That's great.
It's good enough to loop it around leaving a car show. Don't do that.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Also, I'm going to repeat myself here. It's like the R32 Golf all over again. If you've got a 130i and you live in Sydney or Newcastle and you'd be happy for us to feature it, please email me down below.
Now, Saab.
Yeah.
Which Saab?
All of them.
Yeah.
Seriously? Okay, no, not all of them.
No.
The 900.
The Saabs,
You love them.
I love a 900.
Yeah.
Let's say Saabs before GM got their sausage fingers into it.
Not the 95.
Yeah.
Cool, but not really a Saab.
Not really.
The 900, I think, is now for serious enthusiasts. I feel like...
back up, stop. Which was the Saab that was on a WRX platform?
Oh, what was that called?
That was a Saab, bro.
It was a Saab. I can't remember what it was called. It was in the office. It was in the US office. Cal will put a graphic up. I reckon the one to get here is the 9.3 and specifically the Vegan.
Yeah, although the Saab 900 looks way better.
Look
at it.
I know. The 900, 100% classic. Totally a classic. I just think they're at a point of age now. Correct me if I'm wrong. I just think they're now a bit too old for the general public as a collectible. I think it's a proper enthusiast car.
Yeah, if you're saying they're less reliable than the 9.3, well, they're all unreliable. But yeah, I think the 900 looks better. Cal, put up a graphic of the font where it says turbo.
Oh, that's very cool.
Classic
That's very cool.
80s. We love it.
I still think the 9.3 is the one to get. Look, here's why, right? The 9.3, especially the Vegan. So Vegan's going to be asking a little bit more. You're looking $20,000 to $30,000. Comes in a convertible, as all good Saabs should, and it comes as
Would you get a convertible? Wouldn't be the one to get.
It's a Saab. They sold more convertibles than the coupe
but
or
the ongoing issues with convertibles and being a
I know.
collectible is like, they're not going to age well.
Okay, so we go with the hardtop Vegan?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. We're talking 2.3 litre turbocharged
Did
engine.
they really sell more convertibles than hardtops?
Oh, yeah. Oh, way more.
I did not know that.
Yeah, way more. But look, the Vegan, for many Saab experts out there, this remains to be the last truly raw performance Saab before things went a little bit pear-shaped. Very, very special car. We have two coming on the channel soon. The dates
not
are
one,
locked in.
but two.
We got a convertible and a hardtop coming on the channel. Now, if you can't afford one of the Vegans, for a standard 9.3, pricing kicks off from around about $3,000, tops out at around about $25,000. I still think you should save up the cash and get the Vegan.
Yeah.
I reckon it's the one.
A $3,000 Saab might be problematic for most.
Yeah, I can imagine what a $3,000 Saab is actually going to cost you over the long term.
More than a Vegan, probably.
Yeah, that's not. Don't buy one of those.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, just stick with the Vegan.
Vegan always to me sounds like a word you shouldn't say on the internet.
Yeah, you know what it means? It's named after the Saab JA37 Vegan jet fighter.
Yeah, right.
There you go.
So?
According to the blurb I researched, it was a deliberate link to Saab's aerospace roots and a message of performance.
Oh, there you go.
That doesn't sound like marketing speak
You
at all,
had me
does
at
it?
Vegan. Now, from one car that leaks a lot of oil and breaks down a lot to one that doesn't.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, cool. Nissan 350 and 370 Z.
Z.
Okay, the Z and Z thing, weirdly, they're both correct, okay? Some people can't wrap their head around the fact that Z and Z are both the right and wrong answer.
What do you say?
I think I say Z. I like Z.
I know I say Z, but sometimes I just say Z because I like the way it sounds.
Okay, that's all right.
Pick a side.
Now, this is a tough call between these two. Personally, I think it's the 350 over the 370. Reason being, it's the original of this later generation of Z car.
Yeah.
It's not perfect. It needs maintenance. We've done a whole video on this car. It's a classic sports car here. It has to be with a manual gearbox.
Definitely.
It has to be the hardtop.
Yep.
It has to be pretty much bog stock. Or if it has mods, they have to be reversible mods.
Yep.
Actually, not a bad idea to take a lot of the factory stuff off, like say the exhaust, infotainment system, pop all that in a box in your garage with those little moisture collector things so they don't rot away. But it needs to be a classic, it needs to be a classic.
Yeah, the thing is with these cars that when they were at their lowest price, a lot of them were bought up by drifting enthusiasts and motorsport enthusiasts, and they never come back from that.
No.
They are, once they're modified and crash, that's it. They're not worthless, but they're no good as a collectible car. So the availability goes right down.
Yep.
And that's what makes them worth something, because there's fewer and fewer unmodified ones around.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I think this is why the 350 over the 370. I reckon there are more standard mint condition low kilometre 370s out there than there are 350s.
Yeah.
So the 350 being the rarer beast, I think makes it the more classic car.
Agreed.
Yep. Also, they're wonderful to drive.
They are good.
You drive one of these and then you go and get in like a 911 and you go, geez, a 911's expensive, isn't it? No, 911's amazing, and obviously they're a classic, but that's a whole different ballpark in terms of price. But these are a special car. Even in stock form, they're good.
Some say the VQ35 doesn't sound that great.
That's easily fixed.
Yeah, they don't sound as good as an R32 Golf.
They don't. No. Not much sounds as good as an R32
That is
Golf.
true.
Yeah.
It's a shame, isn't it?
But regardless, look, for 15 to 30 grand, they're already going up in price.
Yeah.
They used to be cheaper than this. This is one, again, these are all ones you should jump on now, but yeah, this is the right 350.
Yeah.
Yep, future classic. Now this next one shocked me. We covered one of these recently, and I hadn't driven one for a very long time. And I think the first time I drove it, I was just too kind of wrapped up in it not being the big daddy. But this thing blew my mind. This is all the Porsche you ever need. We're talking the original Boxster.
Yeah.
The reason this thing's going to be a classic, it's the original Boxster. And this mid-engine platform, Cayman 718, they're all getting more celebrated as we go along. GT4 RS and GT4s have certainly helped that, and the Spiders.
Yeah.
But this original Boxster, 986, currently 18 grand will pick up a dodgy one, 40 grand will get you a pretty bloody good one.
Yeah.
This is a special car, especially in S form or any of the special editions.
Would you say they've shaken off that reputation of being a poor man's Porsche?
I don't think we're there yet, but we are definitely getting
Maybe
there.
that's what's helping them stay affordable.
Absolutely.
That type of, it's not a real Porsche mentality.
Yep.
Maybe that's the time to get on it.
And I think as well, a lot of them have been really well cared for. I think there's a good range out there of really tidy examples.
Yeah, not many people neglect their Porsche, really, let's face it.
Can we get to the bottom of the whole, like we cover this in detail in our full review video of it, but can we get to the bottom of the whole IMS failure?
Yeah.
There's all sorts of rumour and conjecture about these engines blowing up.
Look, some of them fail, some of them don't. At the end of the day, if one exists now, it either isn't going to fail or it's been fixed.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the basic bottom line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So not as much of a concern as the internet would have you believe.
Also, fantastic community around the Boxster. Again, I feel like it's a lot of these cars. When you go digging into the owners groups, you're like, wow, okay, this is a good group of people.
Yeah.
Also, this is the car that saved Porsche from collapse. A lot of people give the Cayenne that credit, and obviously it did great things for Porsche, but the Boxster, which also had a whole lot of Toyota influence in the production process.
Yeah, weren't they about streaming the whole process where Porsche were just fumbling around in the dark? Toyota came in and sorted them out. Yeah.
Toyota sorted this out big time. But this car kind of saved the entire brand. And it's currently the most affordable way to get into proper Porsche ownership. Ignore the Macan and the Cayenne and Panamera.
Yeah.
Proper Porsche sports cars.
Yeah.
This is as cheap as it gets. Get in now. Get a good one now.
Now, this one's a bit of a curveball.
Oh, yeah.
Who would have ever thought that a Volvo XC90 would be collectible? But wait, there's a little bit more to it. It has to be the V8.
The Yamaha built Fiat.
Yeah.
how cool is this? Swedish design, Swedish safety, Swedish practicality with a Japanese V8 engine. It's transverse, isn't it? Transverse mounted?
It is. And here's the thing, you might rock up at a car meet or whatever in your XC90, no one's going to look twice until they hear it, and they're going to go, what is that? And straight away, very cool.
It's also an if you know car.
Yeah.
You look at the back of it and you're like, hang on a sec, look at that exhaust system. Hang on a sec, that's one of the V8s.
Yeah.
Super rare, not many around. Pricing wise, not long ago, you could pay $6,000 and get behind the wheel. I wouldn't buy a $6,000 one.
Yeah, no.
But pricing tops out at around the 20 mark, maybe a little bit under 20 grand. This is a sleeping classic.
It is. As far as maintenance goes, though, you might have a bit of work cut out for you. It might be a little bit problematic, and getting parts could also be an issue. But still, that's sometimes the nature of a collectible car.
But it is the only V8 Volvo SUV they ever offered. They did offer, and we made a full video on it, an S80 V8, which was a very special thing.
Also collectible in its own way, but I just don't think it's as cool as the XC90.
No, I think to be out of those two, the future classic I think has to be the SUV. Yeah. But it's a V8 Volvo SUV.
It's weird.
That is cool,
and we love it.
Yes. Yeah. Actually, you know what? If anyone out there has one of these V8 XC90s and you're happy for us to review it, again, links down below.
Now, another BMW this time. It's the 330i, the E46.
Yeah, now look, the E36 328 is also, that's going to be a future classic. I feel like age-wise, we're getting to a point where it's a bit more extreme enthusiast world, requires some maintenance to be at its best.
Yep.
But the E46 330i, this is the best E46 you can buy that's not an M3.
Yeah.
The M3s are bloody expensive.
Yeah. They're not a future collectible, they are.
They're already,
very collectible.
They're already collectible. Pricing kicks off as little as $6,000. Don't buy a $6,000 one. It tops out at about 18 grand. You can get these as a sedan, a coupe, a convertible, or a touring. The touring's the one you want.
They do. They're a good thing. The sedans are quite a nice looking car, I think.
Yep. Just real quick, the in 330i trim, what the body shape is going to vary depending on where you're watching this.
Yeah.
In Australia, I think some of those didn't come as a 330i. Anyway, the 330i is the one to get. It's a 3-litre inline six. Now, this engine, again, thoughts on this?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Overall, very reliable. Has a few oil leak issues and a few injector issues, but overall, it's pretty good. 6-cylinder in a smallish car, it's a great combination. Also,
these things were pretty much the benchmark for handling of cars in this class in the early 2000s, and I still think it's one of the best looking BMWs of all time, not just 3 Series, of any BMW. Yeah. Great looking thing.
And they've got a really good, solid aftermarket enthusiast, support network as well.
Awesome support network. We've been researching this for an upcoming video, and great owners groups. Now, this next one, it's definitely a future classic. I think it's already weirdly a classic because I don't think the price ever went down on these. I don't remember these ever depreciating, and they're already starting to go up.
Yeah, and I also think they're hugely underrated.
Massively underrated car. Kia Stinger has to be the V6 twin turbo.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah. Currently $40,000 to $60,000, which is kind of what they cost when they were new. The reason these are a future classic, this is the car that changed the trajectory for Kia as a brand. This thing, like before the Stinger came out, Kia was this kind of the ugly duckling, weird South Korean manufacturer. And then this came along and all of a sudden everyone took these cars seriously, and you should as a cracker.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And the fact that they no longer make them also makes them more desirable in the future.
And nothing like this is ever coming back.
Yeah.
Like we are never getting another Stinger with a twin turbo V6 engine.
You know what? They'll bring it back in 10 years' time, but it'll be some watered down hybrid.
Yeah.
It won't be the same thing.
No.
Yeah.
This thing also, it's a bloody practical car. The boot is huge. We've done a full review video of this. It's actually one of our most popular videos. Such a great thing. Again, I know we keep saying it over and over again, but the Kia Stinger community, one of the best we've ever dealt with. Fantastic. Great tuning scene. But again, like all of these, you shouldn't tune it if you want it to be a classic. We're talking totally stock, low Ks, mint condition.
I think they're quite a simple car as well in terms of a modern car. Pretty easy to work on, and parts are fairly affordable.
Future classic.
Now, this one was one of my suggestions, and Adam wasn't a fan at the start, but you've come around, haven't you?
Look,
You're not a fan of this car,
No.
nor the concept of this car.
No, but my issue is I'm not a very masculine man. As we know, I like small pretentious coffees. I cycle. I like red wine. I listen to jazz. I'm one of those wankers. I'm not masculine enough
to own a Jeep Grand Cherokee SRT 8.
No, or any V8 Jeep.
But you've driven
Wrangler.
them.
I've driven them.
And how did it make you feel when you drove
No,
it?
I get it. I totally get it. I just don't get it for me personally.
Yeah, look, I probably would never own one, but as far as future collectibles and the checklist of things that makes a car collectible, this does check a few boxes.
It's one of the first proper high performance V8 SUVs. It is American muscle in an SUV body shell, so you've got practicality there and the performance.
It makes no sense, really, as a car. We can all agree on that. And a lot of them over the years have been bought and modified and, basically made less valuable or less collectible.
Ruined, I think is the word you're looking for. Yeah, ruined. Not most, but so many of them have been ruined out there.
Yeah, it's surprising also there's a lot of them out there that aren't really well cared for.
No.
So if you can find an unmodified one that's been well cared for, it's definitely worth having.
And they are out there. Obviously, you're going to have to deal with bits of trim falling off the interior and the exterior, and the fact that the whole thing is compromised because it's not really a performance car because it's actually an SUV, but then it can't be a good SUV anymore because it's got, performance car bits stuck on it.
But listen to it.
I know.
Yeah.
I just don't like them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say I don't like them.
Some do.
But
I still think it makes the list.
Oh, 100% makes the list. It is a future classic if it's low Ks, completely standard and in mint condition.
Yeah.
But you're not going to impress me. But it actually kind of talks about how I am as a man, this next car, because this next car massively impresses me. And I don't know if there's another car that is at the polar opposite end of the spectrum compared to a Jeep Wrangler SRT8.
Yeah, it's the Mazda MX-5.
Specifically the third generation, the NC.
Yeah.
What a car. What a car.
I think they're a bit soft, but...
No, these are amazing. Now, the reason all MX-5s, if they're in great nick and standard, all those rules, they're all going to be a future classic. But the NC especially, because it's the least popular of all the MX-5s. So there are less of them out there.
Well, I'd like to know what the build series volumes were. Is the NC the least popular as well?
I don't know. I don't have the build numbers. I think ND's done really well for sales.
Yeah.
But, and I said this in our full review video of Chris's car, the NC is arguably the worst MX-5 of the four generations, but it's the best car of the four generations. And I think that's why it's out of all of them, I think that's why it's the future classic.
Yeah.
Because you can actually live with it. You can actually deal with it. Mechanically, super simple.
Incredibly reliable. Easy to work on.
Nothing really goes wrong.
Yeah, and one of those cars too that, very, there's a lot of them in motorsport, and a lot of them get modified and crashed, and they put roll cages in them, and it all kind of devalues the car a bit. So it's the same deal. If you can get one that's unmodified and unmolested in good condition, keep it.
And again, obviously, go with the manual. If you can as well, go with the Series 3, I think it is, with the retractable hardtop. I think that's the collectible one. Now, and also pricing-wise, these things used to be cheap, and they're already going up, and that's only going to continue. Look, I don't know if it's ever going to be a $100,000 car, but they are going to be going up in value more and more and more. Actually, speaking of JDMs, let's talk Subaru Impreza WRX. We're talking the 2003 to 2005, the classic Blob Eye.
Right, yes. The Blob Eye is not my favourite looking one of these.
You like the Hawkeye?
I like the Hawkeye.
Yeah.
Obviously the GC8 and the... What do they call the round eye?
The mistake.
The mistake. What were they thinking? I remember seeing the sales of the GC8 just going nuts, and then they changed it to the round headlight, and people just stopped buying them.
Yeah.
That was it. They didn't sell.
It's like Subaru management just went, oh my God, quick, just redesign the front of it, just sort that out quick smart, because that's what it did. It came, I think, the round eye one came out in 01, and then 03 there was already a massive visual update.
Yeah. I do like the Hawkeye, but that's 2.5 litre, so...
It actually alludes to why we think the Blob Eye is the future classic here, because it's the last of the 2-litre engine. Now with the 2.5, bit of a nightmare.
Yeah, another thing too, the round eye or the mistake, that in some ways might make it more collectible later because it was so hated by society. No one cared for them. People changed the front ends, or there was less to start with because no one bought them because they were so hideous. That might make them more collectible later.
But
like the ugly duckling.
I know, but with the Blob Eye as well, it wasn't just the visuals; they changed a bunch of stuff. So I think out of that generation, in terms of mechanical package, the looks.
Yeah.
As far as ticking all the boxes, I reckon it's got to be the Blob Eye.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2.5 litre. Nightmare?
Yeah.
Good? Bad?
No, they're all right, but they all Subarus have their issues.
Yep.
But, you know, from an enthusiast point of view, yeah, they're okay.
Now, you might be thinking, well, surely it's got to be the STI model to be the future classic. I don't think so necessarily. Here's my theory on this. I reckon there are more mint condition STIs hiding in people's garages than there are mint condition standard WRXs.
100%.
Even more so, the club spec models. I reckon there are hardly any of those in mint condition anymore either.
Yeah.
The STI is already a classic. They're already going through the roof in price. These ones, you can pick up a Blob Eye standard WRX from $15,000. Really, really great ones are 30 grand. Even that, 30 grand.
The trouble is, all the cheap ones, people are buying them and doing motorsport things in them, which is making them even more rare and more sought after in the long term.
I think one just went past. That sounded like a
literally
motor. Yeah. Again, I think it's got to be stock.
Yeah.
Even to the point, I know when I sold my GC8, shouldn't have done that. I think even if you've got the...
Don't worry, it's not worth anything. They're never going up. Don't worry about that.
I think with the stock exhaust, stock intake, it's got to be completely bone stock. Hopefully the standard wheels that came on the car, low kilometres, minimal owners.
They are rare as rocking horse shit.
Yeah.
That combination in stock standard form, good luck.
Yeah, and again, that's why it's going to be a future classic. Get on it. Get on it now.
Speaking of get on it now and you not, and also cool JDM things.
And regretting it. We shot an FJ Cruiser.
Yeah.
I could have bought that.
Yeah, you should have.
Didn't.
Cool.
Been punching myself in the head ever since.
You would have had a more valuable car than you did when you bought it.
Exactly. FJ Cruiser. Absolute classic here. People call them a less practical Prado. They don't know what they're talking about.
Another car that wasn't really well received when it came out. People thought it was ugly. They didn't buy it. They really didn't sell that well.
Exactly.
But now everybody loves them.
Yep. Again, preferably with no mods. Almost all the ones you see are kitted up to the max and have been off-roaded and absolutely ruined.
I think you can not ruin its value with a few mods. Like tasteful, maybe lift it a little bit, maybe change the wheels to something appropriate.
Yep.
You can get away with that without destroying the value of it.
Yep.
But
as long as you keep all the original parts in the box under the bed.
Yeah.
Price-wise, $35,000 to $65,000, which is pretty much what they would cost when they were brand new.
I remember when they were 20-something.
Yeah. I remember I saw one for, it was like $18,000. You're not seeing an $18,000 one these days.
No.
This engine, 1GR FE,
Yeah, that will outlast humanity.
I think this is going to go down as one of the all-time classic engines. We're not there yet, but these things are just amazing.
Yeah.
Brilliant power unit.
They will go forever.
Also, rumour has it that Toyota are bringing out a mini version of it soonish.
Yeah.
I think that means that the FJ Cruiser is going to become weirdly like the original of this new generation.
It's really validating its existence, isn't it?
I think it's got a cult following.
Yep.
But I think because it is quirky looking and it's retro inspired, but it's also super reliable and it has this amazing community around it.
It has 3 wipers.
You can't lose with 3 wipers.
No, I know, right?
It's fantastic. It's got the weird suicide doors in the
Speaking
back.
of wipers,
Have you noticed what some car companies are charging for OEM wiper blades
That's
these
outrageous,
days?
yeah.
It's ridiculous. And then some of the aftermarket ones are just rubbish.
there's a better way.
There is a better way. It's by hitting the Wipertech link down below to get 15% off and free expert shipping on the only wiper blades we choose to use, because they are seriously some of the best blades out there and they're a great Aussie company. Give them some support. The link's down below. Okay, now with this next one, we're possibly going to alienate some of our international viewers here because we're talking about some Aussie classics, Holden Commodore and Ford Falcon.
Yeah, now some of these variants you can get in the US, the Holden version.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yep. Actually, no, let's start there. So Holden Commodore, we're talking about the VE and the VF series SS.
Yeah.
Let's ignore the HSV stuff for a second.
Which is already collectible.
Already
We know
super
that.
collectible.
Yep.
Some of the stuff is outrageously
Yeah, nuts.
expensive. But we're talking VE, which is 2006 to 2013, VF 2013 to 2017. And we're talking ideally, like not just the SS, but the SSV, the SSV Redline, any of the special editions, the Motorsport, any of that sort of stuff. This stuff is going to go through the roof. in
Yeah,
value.
look, it already is a little bit. And they kind of didn't really make the list because of that, because it's already widely accepted to be somewhat collectible. But we had to mention it because they're Aussie cars.
Yes.
They're a bloody good thing, especially in wagon form.
Yeah. And Ute.
And Ute form as well.
Yep, 100%.
Now, a Ute manual or that would be very collectible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But again, stock has to be standard.
Yep.
Has to be hopefully lowish Ks. Has to be in fantastic condition.
Yep.
The minute it's got a stack of mods all over it, yeah, I just think it can ruin the value of it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Long-term collectability, stock standard, yeah.
And that's a struggle because with some tasty stuff done, they can be a very special bit of gear. Now, for our international viewers, you might be looking at a Pontiac G8 or a Chevrolet SS. They're all pretty much the
Which
same thing.
weirdly didn't really sell that well in the US.
And it's weird because it ticks so many of the boxes that especially the US market would want, but it wasn't a big seller. Here's a question for you. Between a Ford Falcon XR6 Turbo, we're going to be talking BA to FG series, between the XR6 Turbo or the XR8, which one do you reckon is going to be more collectible?
6-cylinder turbo or V8?
Yep.
I'm going to say the turbo
Yep.
because they're more popular now and they're all getting modified.
Yep.
And they're all going to get ruined. I don't mean ruined. I mean ruined is in terms of collectible.
Yep.
So I think that's going to make them rare and more collectible later.
I completely agree. I just feel that Holden have the V8 thing wrapped up for Australia, but Ford, this Barra, the Barra is an iconic engine. We should be proud of this thing because the Commodore, that's an American engine. It's got an LS engine in it. This is an Aussie engine.
If you can find a stock standard, even now, if you can find a stock standard one, they are getting very rare.
Yep.
There's really not many around.
My personal favourite is the FPV Typhoon or
Type Hoon.
But again, anything FPV is already going through the roof in values. But XR6 Turbo, you're looking at, okay, dodgy ones are 15 grand, really good ones are 50 grand. They're only going to go up. And look, I think the V8 XR8s as well, they are going to go up. I just think if you were choosing between the two, umming and ahhing, I'd be going the Turbo.
Yeah, long term. Now, if Torque is your thing, this next one's for you.
No, that's not fair. I love these.
I know, whatever. It's a Volkswagen Scirocco 2-litre.
Such a great car.
Beautiful car.
No, they are so underrated.
They look good.
They do.
Yeah.
It's like the Volkswagen engineers, the Volkswagen designers knocked on the door of Porsche one day and said, "Hey, see the rear arches of the 911? Can we just borrow them for this little Volkswagen we're making?"
Give us your haunches.
The haunches on this thing are so hot.
Yeah.
It's basically a smaller, lighter, more nimble Golf GTI.
Yeah.
Fantastic car. We've got one of these booked in for a review coming up really soon. It's going to be the most biased review ever because I love them. You're going to have to talk me down.
I'll keep it real.
Yep.
I'll keep it real from a consumer point of view. Nothing to do with collectability.
Yep.
Collectability, a low volume car. It's very nice looking.
Yes.
And a lot of them are getting modified and ruined.
Yep. Now, this had, again, a bit like the R32 Golf, this had a really early version of a DSG transmission. I think to be a future classic, it has to have the manual transmission. Has to be the manual.
Yep.
The DSGs, there's just a few too many issues going on there.
Yeah.
And there's more of them. The manual is a bit more exclusive. It's more of a driver's car.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely the one to get.
Also, if you can find one, try and find a Wolfsburg edition. That's sort of one of the last ones, very, very special.
Yeah.
Now, used pricing at the moment kicks off from around about $14,000, tops out at about 35 grand. They're already starting to creep up in value. Again, I don't know if it's ever going to be a $100,000 car.
Probably not. But it's definitely a car they're never going to make again.
No, God, no.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't even made it since. They've had the opportunity
nothing
to.
like that.
Yeah, no, Volkswagen do not have the resources anymore to get away with making something like this. This is a very unique, very special little car, and it ticks all the future classic boxes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Now, this next one, this was another one of your suggestions, and I was honestly a bit surprised. I totally agree it's a future classic, but I thought you despised these.
I only despise them because I see a few broken ones.
Yeah. We're talking the Mini Cooper S in R53 generation, specifically John Cooper Works, or if you can, find one of the GP editions.
Yeah. Look, they are very simple cars comparatively. The new versions of this Mini are just unnecessarily complicated and kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
This still cuts it as the first sort of retro revisit for this type of thing.
Yep.
And you know what? The supercharger makes all the right noises.
Yep.
And there's a pretty good support network as well.
I also think visually it nails it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think every succeeding generation has gone downhill in looks.
Every succeeding generation was just taking the piss out of this whole legacy retro look. It's really not cutting it at all.
No, this is, in terms of aesthetics, this is the one to get. In terms of driving experience, I feel like this is also the most raw of all of the BMW Minis.
So raw. It's falling off around you and rattling and squeaks. So raw.
But it is such an enjoyable car to drive. Again, especially in John Cooper Works or the GP. I've never driven the GP, but the John Cooper Works is fantastic. I'm going to make all of you hate me right now. When I went to the Nürburgring for the first time, there were loads of these as Nürburgring.
Was it the first time or the second time?
Oh, I think it was the first
time.
Yeah, right.
Mm.
There were loads of these things absolutely hammering around. This and Renault Megane RSs of this kind of same kind of era. They were like the go-to Nürburgring car. But the GP kit, if you can find one of those, jump on that quick smart. They are a special bit of gear, stripped out, proper thing. Yeah. Good luck finding one. Yeah.
Way too expensive to be collectible. Does that make sense?
And if anyone has one, and you want to lend it to us,
yes, please.
You know where the email is. Actually, you know what? Speaking of the Renault Megane, that's also making the list.
Yeah, the Megane RS X95.
Yeah, so we're talking the 2010 to 2016 models. Now, being a Renault Megane, these are available in about several thousand special editions.
Yeah.
Trophy R being the top of the range, and like good luck finding one of those. This for me is and this is going to offend a lot of people because the model after it is very good, but for me this is the last great Renault Megane
This
RS.
is peak Megane.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely peak Megane. The model before it, very polarising in looks. This had it all. Looked great. And so many really good special versions with really nice interiors and great looking car. And the 4-door, the 5-door after it was kind of diluted and meh. Yeah. But this is the one.
You got RS250, RS265, RS275, really any of them. I think an RS275 in terms of collectability is the one to go for post-update, get a bit more fruit, a bit more power.
A lot of them getting modified now, which is ultimately making them more desirable and collectible.
Also, a lot of them getting used at track days extensively. They are becoming, it's almost like a European influence. In Europe, they were already like the go-to track car, but that's happening more and more in Australia, which means they're going to be less and less of them unmolested and untracked on Australian roads.
And also they're becoming a bit of a tuner favourite as well, making incredible horsepower out of these things, which isn't great for torque steer, but overall plenty of power.
We've done a full review video of these as well. Highly recommend checking it out to take you all through the pros and cons, but I think these things, absolute future classics, again, especially that Trophy R.
Find a stock standard one and leave it that way.
So special.
So that's it.
What did you guys think? Did we miss anything? Actually, you know
we
what?
Definitely missed some.
Well, it's funny, when we first started putting this together, we had like 40 cars on the original list, something insane.
Yeah, we had to cull.
If you'd like to see a part 2, let us know, because there are a bunch of other things on there. And obviously there's a bunch of stuff over $100,000, but like, come on.
That might be its own video, I think.
It might be. Again, I just think we should keep it real. Keep it to cars we can all actually afford. These things are special. Let us know, what do you think are your future classics? Let us know in the comments and we'll see you next time.